infection, right? Now, one thing about Pseudomonas aeruginosa, I must tell you first that Pseudomonas aeruginosa is not a kind of deadly pathogen all the time. Instead, they are opportunistic pathogen, right? Opportunistic. Let me write. Opportunistic pathogen, right? What do we mean by opportunistic pathogen? Opportunistic pathogen means this kind of bacteria usually normally present as a microflora in our body at a particular region. In normal conditions, they won't infect us, they won't cause any disease, but after a certain time, when the environment change to their favor, they start to infect us and causing disease. So those microorganisms are called opportunistic pathogen, right? Now, for these microorganisms like Pseudomonas aeruginosa, which is a kind of opportunistic pathogen, they are present almost everywhere in our bodies. Right? They are present in our skin. They are present in usually they are present in our skin because skin is acting as a barrier, right? First important barrier against all the pathogens. Now, if there is a cut in skin, if there is a cut, any kind of cut in skin, it will enter into our bloodstream, and whenever it enters into our bloodstream, it will be transferred from one place to another place via blood, and then it will cause disease. But again, it cannot cause diseases, it usually not cause diseases, but if there is a kind of compromised situation, if there is the infectivity of other organisms, other microorganisms, or any kind of diseased condition in body, in a particular tissue which is getting weak already, in those conditions they start to take the advantage and causing further more infections. That is the infectivity mode of Pseudomonas species, especially Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Okay, now usually what we can see that usually this Pseudomonas aeruginosa can be causing different diseases. So let me write the different zones of disease. So the disease can be there. So let's take, the disease can be caused in skin, simple skin disease. Skin disease, among the skin disease, what we can get among the skin disease, we can get let's say we can get rashes, we can get pustules, okay, and skin rashes, pustules, and simple conditions like that. Or sometimes skin is kind of damaging and just coming out. These things will occur. Now this can be related with eye. Now when it is related with eye, we can have infections like, let's say we can have infections like kind of uh, ophthalmic ophthalmitis. Okay, we can have kind of ophthalmitis, and also we can have diseases in conjunctiva. So it can infect conjunctiva, that means conjunctivitis. So let me write, conjunctivitis will result after the infection of Pseudomonas aeruginosa in our conjunctiva, right? So in eye it can cause this kind of disease. Now it can also cause disease in, let's say it can cause disease in our respiratory system, like in lungs or regions, uh, like bronchus and all these things which are related with this respiratory system. So it can cause a form of bronchitis. So let me write, it can cause a form of bronchitis. Okay, and it can also cause disease, it can cause symptoms, let's say in brain, right? So let me write, it can cause also disease in brain. Now usually the brain disease that it causes is meningitis, and it is common in infants, otherwise we won't see this. So meningitis, okay. So you can see it can infect several regions, it can cause several diseases in those regions, usually, but they won't usually cause diseases. They will only cause disease if there is a compromised situation all the time. If there is a compromised situation going on, and the compromised situation, it can be of a normal immune system which is weaker immune system. So just start of the immune system, or what we can say, un what we can say, unprepared immune system, This is a kind of compromised situation, unprepared immune system, which we can find in, let's say, which we can find in infants, right? We can find in infants or newborns. Or on the other hand, we can have uh, immunocompromised situation. That means immune system is not working properly due to the taking of immunosuppressive drugs, right? So immunocompromised system, and in those case, so immunosuppressive, so let me write immune suppressive drugs will be there. So if the effect of immunosuppressive drug is there, then we can produce immunocompromised people where this kind of infection will be common. Otherwise, in healthy organism or a healthy individual, we won't see this kind of infections taking their toll most of the cases. But all the infection we have talked about, skin infection, eye infection, we have talked about lungs, infection in brain, and also there is infection in, I forgot to mention, infection in urinary tract. So infection in, so let me write here, infection in urinary tract. Now in this case of urinary tract infection, this is a result of again nosocomial infection or hospital acquired infection. Now in this hospital acquired infection, uh, so hospital acquired, right? So let me write nosocomial here, nosocomial. Now, why should anybody have a kind of nosocomial infection related to urinary tract, right? Because remember, there people when they are catheterized in some extent during the surgical approaches and other approaches, in those conditions, if this catheterization is not accurately maintained, and if there is any way of the contamination of Pseudomonas aeruginosa there, it can cause urinary tract infections. And all the time the infection that we're going to see here, you can see in the skin rashes and pustules, eye ophthalmatitis, conjunctivitis, in all these cases, it ultimately relates with and take everything to two important cores. One is inflammation. Let me change the color here. So one is inflammation, so let's take this one, say this one. So one is inflammation, and another one is the necrosis. Change it. Another one is necrosis, necrosis of tissue. So ultimately they lead to two different conditions. One is inflammation and the necrosis of the tissue, right? Inflammation is required, that means they are activating the immune system cells, because our own body system will try to protect ourselves, so that's why this inflammation will set. And necrosis is caused by this bacteria, because necrosis will damage the tissue and help them colonizing much better way. Okay, so all of this infection that we have talked about so far, all of them here, all of them will be the part of, so let me write, these things are the part of acute kind of infection, acute phases of infection. But this kind of infection can be of systemic type. So let me write, this can be of systemic type. But the systemic infections reflecting the spread of organisms include bacteremia. Okay, but these are very uncommon, very uncommon, because this kind of systemic infections by Pseudomonas aeruginosa can only be seen in immunocompromised people where the immune system is very poor. Otherwise we won't see these things much, right? Now in this case what we are talking about, that in this case the secondary pneumonia can be there, and then this spread of this microorganism from one place to another place, and finally when they reach the bone and joint, so what we get here, bone and joint, so bone and joint infection, sorry, bone and joint infection can be there. And also what we can get here is, here urinary tract infection can be there, or secondary, so let me write secondary pneumonia, secondary pneumonia can be there, and obviously urinary tract infection. Several types of urinary tract infection can be there, and one of those infection is endocarditis. So let me write endocarditis. Let me write endocarditis. So this is a type of infection that could be there, and the infection can also result, the infection can also move from the different tissue level into the bloodstream, and as well as CNS or cerebrospinal fluid. So that is dangerous because cerebrospinal fluid is pretend not to having any bacteria, because this is free of bacteria. This is a kind of sterile fluid in our body, but in these cases it can occur kind of bacteria from other sources in systemic infection, but these infections are very rare, can only be seen in immunocompromised people. Okay, so that's almost all the different kinds of infection caused by Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and I hope that's helpful. Thank you.